Today, what I want to do is take you through a before and after of a getaway home on Whidbey Island. So the reason I want to show this to you is because it's such a good example of how space planning, which is a strong, important element of interior design, can really change how a space feels. Yes, we put in loads of new furniture, which I love, but before we can add the pretty, we need to deal with some fundamentals to make sure things work correctly. And that's where space planning comes into play. So let's dive into it. When we started this project, you could see the big story here is the view. You can do whale watching, you can watch ferry boats coming in, you can just spend hours looking out the window, and maybe even go outside and collect some gorgeous driftwood. But the view is the story here. And the furnishings in this home could use an upgrade, right? We've got the wood-burning fireplace that's standing on this tile plinth, and then we've got the seating area with these crazy sort of angled windows. I think that's to give you an outside-in kind of feeling, but it does give a funny sort of vibe to the space too. Here you can see an old piano. And I don't know about you, but the first thing that I notice is how crowded it looks. So the piano, which actually gets a lot of use, is hard to get to. You have to walk through the kitchen to get to the piano because there's no way to walk behind those dining room chairs. You can't even get to the dining room chairs near the piano except to walk around the kitchen island. And the dining room table is practically squeezed up against the sofa. So it feels compressed and tight. So we wanted to open up the space. Moving a little bit into the seating area, there's a lot of big furniture crowded into a small space. Super cozy, but kind of crowded. And also the sun has started really fading the upholstery. So we got to work with space planning. And this right here, I think you can see this blue dot. Fingers crossed you can see it. This is the front door. So you come in here and we moved the piano over to this wall. Before, it was right here next to the refrigerator. So we migrated it over. That way you could still fill the room with music, but not have to squeeze past anything to get there. The next thing we did is we took this zone right here, which was where that crowded dining room table was, and we moved the dining room table and expanded the table to this zone right here next to the wood-burning fireplace. Luckily, we were also able to lower that sort of plinth that the fireplace was standing on. So now it's at ground level. Just gives it a better scale to the room. But this way, you can walk all the way around the dining room table. You can still walk straight out to the back. We've got a little credenza table behind the sofa that we put a lamp here. Then we added a desk where that piano used to live and where the dining room table used to be. We put a desk here. That way the homeowners can set up shop, work away at the laptop, and have a view. Before, the desk was living on this wall a little further from where the piano got moved, but that meant when you're working on your laptop, you're staring at a wall. And you've got this killer view just right over here. So we made this a functional space, but also a way to take advantage of the view. Then we decided to open up the seating area in the living room space And we put in a big, cozy sectional. That way, a lot of reading happens here, so you could be curled up on the sofa with the water right there and the light and just relax and read a book. You can still watch television. Friends could gather over, all the good stuff. One of the fun details is that we put in this carpeting that has a stripe to it. And in this instance, the homeowner didn't want to put a hard floor surface down. We wanted to keep it soft and cozy. This gives you that relaxed, beachy vibe. It kind of hides, dirt and sand and all those things. It's very durable, and it just gives it a real fun feeling. So this is where we ended up. We ended up extending this arm of the sectional a little longer than originally planned. That way you could have two people taking naps here. People could be curled up and looking out the window. You can get lots of friends over to watch television. You can put your feet up on this coffee table because it's a bit of a distressed finish and you don't have to worry. We covered the sectional in a slipcover performance fabric because we already knew it was going to take a beating from the sun. So by having it in this light color, then any kind of fading just becomes a non-issue. And then throwing lots of pillows on a sectional just makes it really inviting. It makes you want to just curl up and hang out and while away the time. Here in the dining room area, you can see we've played with texture. I'll see if I have a close-up of this table, but it's got great legs. By the way, just so you know, none of these are professional photos. I just used my iPhone, so sorry about the graininess, but that's okay. So here you can see it's got these great turned legs. You can, make it bigger if you are entertaining people. We've got this lamp here on the credenza, so if you're reading in the corner, you've got nice light. We've also got a neat lamp right here for additional lighting. And that view, oh my gosh, that view. And that kitchen. So obviously it was time for the kitchen to get a refresh too. You can see here's the piano kind of hanging out here while the carpeting was going in. And this is what we had to work with when we began. It's not a bad kitchen. It just needed to be upgraded like everything else. And there were some funky things like this corner right here and this upper. They created these corner cabinets that have like, a cavity inside, but really hard to get into. And I think that's where appliances go to die, right? Because it's such a pain to get anything out. We also had multiple kind of like depths and levels and angles and tight. It just gave us an opportunity for improvement. So one of the biggest improvements we made was just getting rid of that angled cabinet and putting in more effective, useful storage. We also updated the wood treatment and the appliances and all the things that you do when you do a kitchen reno. But that simply getting rid of that funky corner made the whole kitchen feel roomier. Hey, thanks for the before and after tour, and I'm sure we'll talk soon.